So we have on the right the conventional graph we would see for cost curves, and let's take a look at which of these answer choices is right. So A, if marginal cost is rising, then average total cost is rising. And we see that that's not necessarily the case, right? Like, marginal cost is rising from this point onward, except we see that average total cost continues to decrease until marginal cost intersects with average total cost, right? So that's not going to be the right answer. B says if marginal cost is rising, then average variable cost is rising. And again, we see that's not necessarily the case. There's this period here where marginal cost is rising, but it's below average variable cost, and therefore AVC is still decreasing. And so that's not going to be the right answer. C says that if AVC is rising, then marginal cost is minimized. And so again, we see that's not the case. As AVC is rising, when we see that marginal cost is actually increasing even faster, and that's because AVC only rises when marginal cost is greater than variable cost. And finally, D, if average total cost is rising, then marginal cost is greater than average total cost. And here we see that is indeed the case because marginal cost intersects ATC at its lowest point, at its vertex. Every point up after that intersection where marginal cost is greater than the average total cost, your marginal cost is essentially pulling up the average, right? Because you're adding more and more high values into the average, and that's going to pull the average total cost up. And so if average total cost is at any point rising, then marginal cost is going to be greater than the average total cost. See, we see that already starting to occur here. And so it's going to be answer choice D that is the correct answer. Let's take a look at the answer choice by the previous tutor. And they said that the correct answer is D. A is incorrect because it is only partly true, as answer D covers this answer and more. Yeah, so again, A is not entirely true because there's a point in time where if marginal cost is rising, then average total cost is rising, but not all points. B says if marginal cost is rising. So they say B is incorrect because average variable cost rises when the firm increases production. Moreover, marginal cost intersects at AVC's lowest point. So that's the key point, that marginal cost intersects at AVC's low point. C is incorrect because marginal costs are costs covering production of a new unit. As a result, when marginal costs are below average variable costs, the average variable cost will also drop. And so yeah, I think that covers the relationship pretty well. And then D says is the right answer. And so I think the only thing missing from this answer is an explanation for why D specifically is the right answer. So why don't we just add that in? And so we see here that D is the right answer because marginal cost intersects ATC at average total cost at ATC's lowest point, and therefore for every point afterwards where ATC is rising, marginal cost is greater than ATC. So that's going to